The 9 Titans are the most powerful and sought-after creatures in the universe of AOT. They all have unique abilities that are useful not only in battle, but can also contribute to society with things like building and cultivating the land to bring wealth to its people. But yeah, mostly fighting and destroying whoever happens to be standing in their way at that moment. So today we'll go through their stories, who has possessed them, and how they've been used throughout history. 1. Founding Titan. Let's start with the very first Titan, the Founding Titan. Around 2,000 years ago, there was a girl called Ymir, whose village was attacked and enslaved by the Eldians. After becoming a slave, she opened the gate to a pen, letting some pigs escape. When Fritz, the tribe's head, asked who let them out, someone outed her and she was exiled from the village, only to be hunted down. She hid in a big tree, but she slipped and fell into the water where this thing attached to her back and boom! The Founding Titan was brought into existence. Our girl Ymir thought it was a great idea to return and offer her new power to Fritz, who used it for various chores around and to destroy Marleyan forces whenever needed. As a reward, Fritz took Ymir as his concubine, gave her his name, and had 3 girls with her, Maria, Rose, and Sheena. Unfortunately, Ymir died saving Fritz's life and ended up in the paths, becoming a slave of the royal family for the rest of eternity. Meanwhile, the king forced their daughters to eat her corpse to preserve the power of the Titans, and asked them to reproduce and let their children do the same so that they could keep ruling with the Titans. Some generations later, Ymir's power became the 9 Titans. Many centuries later, Karl Fritz inherited the Founding Titan and used it to make Eldia fall. He relocated Eldia's capital to Paradise Island and used the Founding Titan to create thousands of Colossal Titans, ordering them to harden and turn into the 3 walls where they would live. He also made everyone in Paradise forget about the existence of other humans and made them believe that they were the only survivors of humankind in a world overrun by Titans. Oh, and he also changed his last name from Fritz to Reese. We then jump to the year 842. Yuri Reese passed the Founding Titan to his niece Frida. Sometime after that, Grisha with his Attack Titan attacked, destroying the royal family and becoming the new possessor of both the Attack and the Founding Titan. After the loss of Shiganshina, Grisha took Eren to the woods, turned him into a Titan, and made Eren eat him, thus allowing Eren to become the current wielder of these 2 Titans. 2. Colossal Titan. As we said before, the 9 Titans appeared sometime after Ymir died. Since then, the Colossal Titan belonged to one of the Eldian houses, subservient to the Founding Titan. After Karl Fritz left for Paradise, the Colossal Titan was taken by the Marleyans during the Great Titan War. In the year 843, Bertolt Hoover was chosen as the next possessor of the Colossal Titan. He was then sent to Paradise Island with Annie, Rhina, and Marcel on a mission to get the Founding Titan and bring it back to Marley. Bertolt used his power to break into Shiganshina, and then 5 years later, to breach the wall in the Trost district in the same way. Bertolt last used the Colossal Titan in the Battle of Shiganshina, where, despite killing a lot of people and destroying almost everything, Eren managed to cut him out of the Titan's nape and feeding him to Armin, who became the new possessor of the Colossal Titan. So far, he's only used it once at Liberio's port to destroy the Marleyan warships when he transformed. But of course, he didn't destroy just the warships. 3. Female Titan. Among those who traveled from Marley to the walls before Colossal Titan broke down Wall Maria was Annie, the inheritor of the Female Titan. We see her for the first time as a Titan in the 57th expedition outside the wall, where she shows impressive skills like her speed, reflexes, hardening skin, and even her ability to attract Titans by screaming. The second time we see her as a Titan is several days later when she gets cornered by the Survey Corps and then fights with Eren's Attack Titan. Cocky as always, and he thinks she's gonna win, but Eren is full of rage and goes crazy on her, ripping her out of the Female Titan's nape. But when everybody thought the mission was completely successful, in a surprising twist, Annie trapped herself in this crystal-like capsule that was basically impossible to break and stayed there for a long time. After Eren releases her from her crystal without realizing he had done so, we see her use the Female Titan against the Jaegerists who dismembered the Titans' bodies piece by piece with the Thunder Spears. To get to the ship, Annie and Rhina had to be rescued by Pike and Falco's Titans. I have a lot of expectations over what she's going to do now that we know that she can obtain other Titans' abilities by eating parts of them, and that she had free sample of the Beast Titan right in front of her in the last episode released. 4. Armored Titan. Reina is the first possessor of the Armored Titan that we meet in the show. We first see him in 845 when invading Shiganshina after the Colossal Titan breaks the wall, which was when he ran as fast as he could toward the North Gate to destroy it. And that's basically all he did as the Armored Titan for the next 5 years. The second time we see him is when he confesses to Eren that he is the Armored Titan and Berthold, the Colossal Titan. Reina then transforms to kidnap Eren and finally leaves Paradise. However, the duo loses Eren when Erwin ambushes them with a number of Titans hot on his tail, though Reina does manage to escape to Wall Maria with Berthold and Ymir. During the Battle of Shiganshina District, we learn about the Thunder Spears, which were specifically created to use against him, and boy did they work. After getting to know that Beast Titan can penetrate his armor with his stone throws, the Armored Titan got exposed as not being as indestructible as they made us initially believe. Those are some of the times before this last released episode in which he goes straight into fighting with the Beast Titan's husk that Eren created. 5. Attack Titan. The Attack Titan is said to always be used by people fighting for the freedom of Eldia in any day and age. It was the only Titan Marley couldn't get its hands on besides the Founding Titan. But unlike the latter, the Attack Titan stayed on the mainland. The first inheritor of the Attack Titan in history we get to see is Eren Kruger. It is unclear how he inherited it or how many times he used it. What we do know is that he was the Eldian spy who had gone undercover in Marley's public security, and that he was responsible for turning Grisha into a pure Titan to set him loose on Paradise. He did turn into the Attack Titan at least once to destroy the public security and their ship before passing the Attack Titan on to Grisha, along with the mission of obtaining the Founding Titan, since Eren would not be able to do it because, well, he's about to die. We see Grisha's Attack Titan in action only when he attacks Frida to take the Foundling Titan away from the Reese family. Not long after that, he goes back to meet Eren Yeager, his son, and passes the Attack and Founding Titan over to him while making him forget about the whole situation for a while. It takes several years before we finally get to see Eren Yeager's Attack Titan, which makes its first appearance in the anime during the Struggle for Trost arc. After it seemed that Eren had died, eaten by a Titan, his wounds and determination to fight triggered his first transformation. Since then, Eren has used the Attack Titan multiple times, and the last time before he turns into a very ugly fish skeleton ready to destroy the entire world is when he's fighting against the Armored and Jaw Titan before confessing to Zeke that he never believed in the euthanasia plan. He also used it at least once to see in his future memories that there would be some incredible videos on a channel called Mini Katana in a mystical place called the Internet. Did you know he immediately fell in love with the channel and subscribed? And who could blame him? You should also subscribe to see all the videos that Eren has already watched and loved. He also saw you winning one of the monthly prizes, Waku Waku. The #1 anime newsletter gives its subscribers. Come on, you already know you won. Why don't you subscribe now and let the future happen? 6. Beast Titan. The first person we know of who inherited the Beast Titan was Tom Saver in 829. However, unlike Zeke, he didn't use it for battles since he never considered himself good at it. Rather, his possession of this Titan was primarily investigative. And finally, as a method of long-term suicide after his Marleyan wife killed their son and herself when she discovered that he was an Eldian. A very subtle way to reject someone, of course. Saver then meets Zeke. They end up getting along and eventually realize they have similar views on the Marleyan-Eldian conflict. AKA, the solution would have been to never be born. As a result, Tom passes the Beast Titan to Zeke so that he can convince whoever has the Founding Titan to execute the euthanasia plan. The first time we see the Beast Titan in the anime is when Mike encounters Zeke, who throws Mike's horse at Mike before questioning him on his omnidirectional gear, then gives his Titan buddies a little feast. Honestly, I think this is one of the most impactful introductions of a Titan because he, in a very calm way, shows us how powerful he is. This is the first time in the series we've seen a Titan speak without issue, control other Titans with ease, and he has a unique ability to turn ordinary objects into projectiles. It's also worth noting his control over the other Titans is way more accurate than, for example, the female Titan, who can only attract them. If Zeke wanted, he could ask a regular Titan to clean his house. One of the most relevant battles Zeke has had as the Beast Titan was with Levi, the best combatant of each side of the conflict facing each other. Levi doesn't give Zeke a second to blink before getting him out of the Titan, which Levi had already done some significant damage to. In his moment of hesitation, Levi is approached by the Cart Titan, who is able to remove Zeke from the battle and save him. The last time we see Zeke as the Beast Titan is when he's defending and helping Eren in their journey to the paths so that Eren can finally meet Ymir. Or is it? 7. Cart Titan. Unlike the combat type titans we've mentioned, the Cart Titan is one of the few that stayed in Marley as a deterrent against enemies. In 843, Pike Finga was selected to inherit this titan and fought alongside Marley in another war against a non-Eldian nation. But years later, she was sent to Paradise Island along with Zeke and other Marleyan soldiers. Thank goodness she came along too, because in the Return to Shiganshina arc, while she was carrying supplies for the Marleyan soldiers, she also saved Zeke from being captured by Levi, as we mentioned before. If we don't count her transformation when the Scout Regiment arrives at Eren's founding titan in the most recent episode, the last time we see her as the Cart Titan is when she joins the scouts from Paradise trying to make it to the airship. Here is when Falco decides to transform into the Jaw Titan for the first time, and against all odds, it turns out fine, until it didn't. Falco ends up attacking Pike, and they have to cut him out of the Titan's nape. 8. Jaw Titan. Speaking of the Jaw Titan, the first known inheritor was Marcel Galliard, one of the 4 warriors sent to Paradise to take the founding Titan. On their way to the walls, Reiner almost gets eaten by a Titan, but Marcel saves him, and he's the one who gets eaten instead. The Titan who ate him was Ymir Fritz, who after 60 years of wandering as a Titan, turned back into a human. Now back in human form and possessing the Jaw Titan, Ymir traveled back to the walls, where she heard about Krista Lenz, and decided she wanted to meet her, so she joined the Cadet Corps the same year as Krista. Sometime later in the Clash of Titans arc, Ymir finds herself in a situation where the only way that she, Krista, and the rest of the scout group could make it out alive was if she came out as the Jaw Titan, so she did. She fought the surrounding Titans off as long as she could until the Horde overwhelmed her. Surprisingly, she did come out of it alive, barely. In the Marley arc, Ymir lets herself be killed by Porco Galliard, Marcel's brother. Now, his Jaw Titan was very similar to Marcel's. We see it for the first time when he protects Gabi and Falco from the bullets in Fort Slava, and again when Eren uses him to break Lara Tiber's crystal while fighting with the Warhammer Titan. His career as the Jaw Titan finished when Falco ended up eating Porco after being turned into a pure Titan by Zeke's scream, making him the new Jaw Titan. Falco uses it for the first time when intervening in the attack Annie and Reina are barely able to handle, so that they can all escape with the flying ship. 9. Warhammer Titan. Finally, we have the Warhammer Titan. Do you remember that King Karl Fritz made an alliance with the Tiber family for his vow of renouncing war and stuff? Well, the Tiber family were the inheritors of the Warhammer Titan, and it stayed like that for many years. That is, until Eren drained the Lara Tiber's guts into his mouth, becoming the inheritor of the Attack Titan, Warhammer Titan, and Founding Titan. Eren later uses it to escape from his underground cell, and then again when fighting against the Jaw and Armored Titans. Which one is your favorite Titan? Let's chat about it in the comments down below. If you liked this video, please hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss great anime content like this. Thank you for watching.